live on the air. I'm Richard Sales.
This is wild.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Lounge Time. I'm your host, Rich Sale. 2 weeks are in the books. We got a lot to go over. We got week 2 analysis. We got week 3 picks. And along the way, there's some fraud teams and there's some teams that are legit early. Now, I know it's too early, but to me, you can tell already some teams are going to be fine. Some we're not sure about. Some that they're not going to be fine. But we'll go over all that with the week 2 analysis. We got week 3 picks to get to. So, let's get to it. You guys know what we do for after week has been finished. It's my favorite segment we like to call Recapping with Rich. Week 2, let's get it started with the action. Last Thursday night, between the Chargers and the Chiefs. Justin Herbert, 33 of 48, 334 yards, 3 touchdowns, an interception. For the most part, he played very well, minus the pick 6. Now, late in the game, I know when he tried to throw on the run and he just looked hurt, and he threw it away. Now, I know everybody's going to say, well, yeah, he was hurt. Obviously, he's holding his rib cartilage, which is what they ended up saying he was hurt by. But, again, for the most part, I thought he played very well outside of the pick 6. Okay? Hope he's okay and is going to be able to go Sunday versus the Jaguars because we want the best guys out on the field, and hopefully the injury is not that bad, especially with like 10 days off. Should be good to go, hopefully. But we'll get more info as we get closer to game time on Sunday. Running game between Eckler and Michelle, it was just okay. Mike Williams, he had a monster game, okay? 8 catches, 113 yards. He had a touchdown. Had to step up big with Keenan Allen being out. Joshua Palmer had a touchdown. Gerald Everett, DeAndre Carter stepped up and helped pick up more of the slack that they needed to step up with. They did a good job there. The defense, they had a great game plan for the first half. They held Kansas City to 7 points. I think it was 17-7.5. So they had a great game plan, but they couldn't produce in the second half. They got to Mahomes early, Khalil Mack. Bosa got some pressure. But the second half, that pass rush wasn't coming in and closing out and getting that sack of Mahomes. Every time they would get close, Mahomes would quickly throw it away. They just couldn't get to him quick enough. And in large part because the coverage was mostly good. And then Mahomes kind of saw what was going on and he threw the deep ball to Watson, which we'll get into in a little bit. But they only had 1 sack, the Chargers. I was shocked. But they did get some hits on Mahomes. He did get frustrated, which we'll get into in a little bit. 5 of 16 on third down, though. That's got to be better against a team like Kansas City, especially in their building. If you want to go in there and beat them in Arrowhead, you got to keep Mahomes on the sideline by converting money downs. Okay? And take as much time off so that way when they get on the field, they have to kind of play catch up and they have to play from the sense of behind. If you guys understand what I'm saying. But That's what the Chargers should have done was they should have tried to keep Mahomes off the sideline up 10. They couldn't get anywhere past midfield anytime they tried. 3 of 5 in the red zone. The one turnover, though. Now let's walk through the pick six for a minute. I was watching the game live, and the tight end, Gerald Everett, he was tired. He was like signaling to the coach, sub me out, I need a break. But I guess they went up-tempo, or which we call no huddle. And I don't know when the route, if he like stopped, because that was what the route was, or he just thought the corner wouldn't undercut it, or if he was fatigued. I don't know what was going on there. There was a simple miscommunication, I'm guessing. But you could see after the interception, the tight end Gerald Everett was asking to be out, like he needed a break. But they went no huddle, and he was, I'm guessing, tired, miscommunication, one of the two. And the pick six essentially was the difference of the game. Other than that, we're having a completely different conversation. But the Chargers with a big missed opportunity to go 2-0 in the division, okay, and steal a win at Arrowhead for the second straight year. Maybe actually third year, because they beat him in a meaningless game in 2020. But big missed opportunity to go into a division rival's house and take it. And get 2 wins at Arrowhead in the last, 3 in the last 3 years. But unfortunately, they didn't get the win. Speaking of the Chiefs. Oh, you fucking bandwagons get lucky again. Man, y'all got so lucky. Oh, man, your freaking defense bailed you out. Patrick Mahomes, 24 of 35. 235 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Now, the media probably said he had a great game. But here's what we do on Lounge Time. We don't follow and bandwagon what the media says. The real judgment's from this guy here. I don't give a damn if they said he had a good game. You know what I say? He had an average game. Average game by his standards. Okay? If it was any of the greats, we would be saying it's average too for them. We'd be like, 200 yards for him? But the media didn't do that with Mahomes. But this guy will. 235 is average, okay? 2 touchdowns, average. Average. I saw him get impatient. I saw him got frustrated when the Chargers kept getting some pressure on him and some late hits. I saw it, okay? Receivers not getting quite open. You miss Tyreek Mahomes? You miss him? You'll beat the Colts next week, don't worry. But let's see when you play the big boys later on if you miss him. Because I saw him get frustrated. It's just a start, Chief Bandwagons. It's just a start. Okay? I'm telling you. This is step 1. He's getting frustrated. Okay? Either the line or receivers or both. But he's getting frustrated. Okay? Because guess what defenses have figured out about him? He doesn't want to be patient. He doesn't want to throw underneath the whole game. He wants to just throw, oh, look at me with this no-look deep ball to Kelsey or Hardman or Valdez Scaling now or Juju. Defenses are like, nope, we're not letting your guys get behind us. Take what's in front of you, and that's it. And he's getting frustrated. I saw him. I saw his face on the broadcast. Oh, it's just a start. I'm telling you, it's just a start. Last year, remember, they went 3-4, then they got rolling, but they beat garbage teams. I'm not saying it's going to be this year, but something new is going to happen to where they're going to fall at some point. Just wait. Just wait. This is just a stepping stone. This is the start, okay? We got to see how this progresses throughout the season. But step 1, he is frustrated by multiple things. Defense is forcing him to play underneath. Offensive line struggling with the pass rushers, mainly the edge guys. And these receivers, they're not quite the guys that they were a couple years ago, are they? Tells me this. You ain't throwing no more deep balls for a while. They're forcing you to be patient, and he doesn't want to do it. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 1 big run. Outside of that, The run game did not help at all much. The longest run for Clyde Edwards-Helaire was 52 yards, and that was late in the game when they had to ice it. They got the field goal off that. All right. Justin Watson caught a touchdown. Jerick McKinnon caught one. Kelsey led the team receiving 5 for 51. Defensively, Chris Jones, let's be real, their best guy up front. Frank Clark has been hit and miss, okay? Karlaftis is a rookie. Honey Badger's gone in the back end. Charvarius Ward's now gone in the back end, okay? Well, Jarius Sneed's okay, but their main guy up front is Chris Jones. He's their best player on defense. He had a big game, 2 sacks. Jalen Watson, 99-yard pick six. Like I said, y'all are lucky. Y'all are so lucky, Chief Bandwagons. You lucky asses. You got bailed by a pick six. That's all right. Your day's coming. I'll just wait. I'm going to sit back and just wait and see when it happens. Because when you lose a game, guess what? We throw not a parade, unless it's in the playoffs like last year. Because last year in the playoffs, we threw a parade. And trust me, if they lose bad in the playoffs this year, we double down on that parade, okay? 4-12 on third down for the Chiefs. That's not very great, is it? 1 of 3 in the red zone. No, sir, that's not great. 6 penalties. They got 10 days to clean this up, and they'll be fine because they're playing the Colts, who have their own problems, which we'll get into later. But don't worry, Chief Bandwagons. This is the stepping stone, okay? And you and the fucking head of the snake, the leader of the nauseating, delusional bandwagons, Nick Wright, I saw his tier list today, having the Chiefs still as favorites. Are they better than the Buffalo Bills right now? No, they're not. Okay, are they better than, let's say, some teams in the NFC? Are they better than Tampa? Hell no. Are they better than the Rams or the Packers? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. Are they better than the Niners? Probably now they are, but I expect the Niners to be much better than them later in the season. But they are not better. Tampa's better than them. The Bills are way better than them right now after 2 games. I don't care who they beat. Okay? They're better than the Chiefs. Okay? Now, some of these other 2-0 teams we'll get into later. No. Not yet, at least. Not yet. Now, let's see how the later half of the season goes. But for right now, Tampa and the Bills are definitely better than the Chiefs. Okay? I'm telling you, bandwagons, you're not the best team. And stop listening to Nick Wright, Mr. Big Bird Nose from Sesame Street. Okay? Stop listening to him with the head of the snake with his tier list as you guys are the favorites. You're not. You're not. You're third on the fiddle. Tampa and Buffalo, better than you. Just giving you the facts. Don't listen to him. This guy knows it all. Okay? Just letting you know. Jets and the Browns. The first of many wild, crazy comebacks on Sunday. Joe Flacco, 26 of 44, 307 yards, 4 touchdowns. Is this Flacco from 2012 all over again? What? Like, when I saw the box score stuff, I was like, did Joe Flacco turn back the clock from 10 years ago? What the hell is this? Okay, with these guys? Huh? Okay. Breece Hall, he had a receiving touchdown. Michael Carter. Running game was good. They got the 2-headed workhorse. They'll get going more. All right. Garrett Wilson, the young rookie of Ohio State. 8 catches, 102 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had a big day. Okay, Jet fans are very happy today that they found a guy for the future in Garrett Wilson. Corey Davis, they pair him up. 2 catches for 83 yards and a touchdown. The defense is still questionable to me. Okay? Mainly the run defense. Actually, no, because they held Lamar in check week 1 in that running game. But in general, they're just questionable, okay? They gave up 30 points allowed. I know Allen had an interception. I know they got 1 sack between Quinn and Williams. I forgot who the other person he split the sack with was. They were great on third down. 8 of 15 is great. But 8 penalties, and they had 1 missed opportunity. But they had a 13-point comeback in less than 2 minutes. If they don't recover the onside kick, we're having a completely different conversation. Or if Nick Chubb decides not to get greedy and take a knee instead of score and be the hero, they don't win this game. They're 0-2. But this is what the result was, and that's it. All right? To the Browns, Jacoby Brissett. 22 of 27, 229, touchdown and interception. Okay. Nick Chubb, 17 carries, 87 yards, 3 touchdowns. Big game, not from a statistical standpoint, but 3 times he got in the end zone. Except for the one that he scored last because he tried to play hero ball. Yeah. But who knew the Browns special teams wouldn't recover an onside kick? Okay? Run game was really good. This is what Cleveland's going to have to do without Deshaun Watson. Okay? Amari Cooper, 9 catches, 101 yards, and a touchdown. The defense, though, mainly in the last 2 minutes. They gave up 30 more for the whole game. They gave up 14 in less than 2 minutes. Clowney had a sack and a fumble recovery. Myles Garrett had a sack. 8 of 12 on third down. 8 of 12 on third down. Great for them. They had 5 penalties. The onside kick blunder. Now, I get it's going to happen where teams are going to F up an onside kick recovery once in a while. But to the Jets, Cleveland? Really? I mean, damn. Teams go over this. Heck, in a walkthrough, you go over that stuff. You can't recover an onside kick? At home, you can't beat the Jets. You go over this shit in walkthroughs. I know you do. Okay? Come on, man. Seriously? And I root for anybody against my division rivals because guess what? I don't root for my division rivals unless it's for a very strange circumstance where I will root for them. I don't do it unless I absolutely have to. Damn it, Cleveland. You couldn't pull through. This game was right in your hands, and you blew it. You blew it. Okay? Washington Commanders, Detroit Lions. Carson Wentz, 30 of 46, 337 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. Running game was not that great. I know Gibson got a rushing touchdown, but they really could not run the ball at all. All right? Curtis Samuel, 7 catches, 78 yards, and a touchdown. Terry McLaurin, 4 catches for about... I'm going to get my notes here for a second. 4 catches for 75 yards. Jahan Dotson, 4 for 59 and a touchdown. Okay? Logan Thomas caught a touchdown. Receivers are stepping up. Granted, you were playing mostly from behind the whole game. They should have. Defense, I know they got 3 sacks. Okay? But they could not stop the Lions. They couldn't stop Jared Goff. They couldn't stop DeAndre Swift. They couldn't cover Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's a nice receiver. Rising star in the league. They couldn't cover him. Now, I know Chase Young's out, but still. This is a Washington defense that we thought was really good 2 years ago. It's just taking a step back and taking another one this year, right now. They got in a shootout with the Jaguars last week. I mean, I have to see when Chase Young comes back, but this defense, especially that front 4, when we think they should be wreaking havoc in the game, they're not doing it. And that back end's just not helping them out either. Something's wrong in Washington. I don't know what it is. But here's the biggest thing. The offensive line gave up 5 sacks allowed on Carson Wentz. 5. Okay? 3 missed opportunities. Okay? The safety gave the Lions 2 points. The interception and a turnover on downs. The difference. Those 3 possessions. And that game is a whole different conversation. 3 missed opportunities. They did turn it over, the interception. I know they were 7 of 15 on third down. That's not bad. That's good. But they can't protect Wentz either. We all know if Carson Wentz gets an injury, Heineke's okay. But that line, they got their own problems. Not just on the not just as the front four, not stepping up crazy. I know they got 3 sacks this week, but their offensive line, heck, Wentz might get hurt again. 5 sacks allowed to the Lions. Man, yikes. Let's get to the Lions. Jared Goff, 20 of 34 for 256 and 4 touchdowns. This looks like numbers that he would have if Sean McVay was still his head coach, but he's not. Dan Campbell is. Okay? The running game had 2 big runs. 50 and 58 yards. Okay? Outside of that, let's go okay. Amon-Ra St. Brown, I just mentioned his name before. 9 catches, 116 yards, and 2 touchdowns. All right? Josh Reynolds, DeAndre Swift had a receiving touchdown each. Okay? Aiden Hutchinson, the 2nd overall pick in this past draft. 3 sacks of the team's 5. They had 11 QB hits as a team. 11 times Carson Wentz got hit. Whew. And they got Minnesota next week. Tough game, but I don't know if they're getting 11 QB hits on Minnesota next week. Unless the Kirk Cousins that is supposed to be on primetime shows up again on Sunday, but I don't think that's going to happen. Harrison, an interception. The 3rd down, 4 of 13, not great. 2 missed opportunities to close out a game. Okay? The Lions, this is what the Lions do. Okay? One of them was they passed up a field goal up 9. You pass up a field goal up 9. You kick the field goal, that's it. They got to go 2 scores, and you got to make them kick an onside. That's a bonehead mistake. Go for the knockout. Field goal. Make them go 2 scores, and that way you know they're going to have to push it downfield. I don't get it. I don't get it. Instead, you let them hang around to the point where it was too late. You could have easily made this 2-score game, and you're set going into week 3. But you let them hang around too much. And that's sometimes what the Lions do. Okay? They just do things where you're like, yep, that's just the Lions. Okay? Tampa Bay and New Orleans. I know somebody that's watching this show real closely. We had him on as a guest, first episode of the year. He knows who he is. He joked to me last year about the Saints. For those of you that probably don't know, he had the Saints beating Tampa. Probably not this week, but he felt like the Saints have Brady's number and everything, which in the regular season, outside of the one postseason meeting, yes. But this game, I know what he's going to say, but I'm going to beat him to it. 18 of 34, Tom Brady had 190 yards and a touchdown. Now, I know you guys just heard me rip Mahomes for under 200 yards. Well, not under 200 yards, but 230s. Okay? You're probably going to be like, Rich, don't be nice now. Hold on. This is my show, damn it. I get to make my call of how I assess the game. Let me tell you why this is a little different. Tom Brady, early on, when he had a running game and a defense, he didn't throw for 200-300 yards as a first-year starter. No. He played game manager. But they won a Super Bowl off of that. He did it, and he grew once he started more in the league. And when their defense was still elite, he got his play better over time. This is Brady's early years. I'm going to tell you why this is fine, as opposed to Mahomes and all that stuff. Okay? Let me tell you why now. Because Brady got away with throwing 130 yards, I think in the first Rams Super Bowl, I want to say. And they still won the game. Because their elite defense helped out, and his job was to not turn the ball over. Which he did it. And that's exactly what happened in this Saints game. Okay? So, for all you people that think, oh, Richard should be ripping Brady for how bad the game was. No. Because guess what? He knows the Saints gave him trouble. He knows what to do like he did in the playoff game. That beat them in their building. In the playoffs 2 years ago, it's going to be. Don't turn it over. Just make sure you get when you are able to get open, just don't turn it over. The defense is playing well. The run game, although Fournette didn't play well, all right, just my job is not to turn it over and not hurt us in the game, which he did a couple of those other 4 times against the Saints. That's the difference between this. Now, Mahomes, here's the difference. When Mahomes came in early, Andy Reid will let him throw pass happy. He has to learn now, if things aren't going his way, to settle for underneath, to settle for the underneath, to settle for the running game. And he's never won as a game manager. That's the key to all this. That's the key. My guy had to learn how to do that. So don't worry about, oh, Goat Man threw for 190 yards. I know he's saying this right now. I know he is. Okay, I'm beating him to it. All right? That's all right, though. That's all right. Don't forget, the man did take 11-day hiatus. I know everybody's going to say, but let me tell you something. I know everybody's saying, oh, he's not the same. Keep playing that sucker media move. I'm telling you, keep playing that sucker game that you get sucked into every year, media. Please, just please. You're going to fall right into the same trap you guys do every single year. And he's going to be fine. I'm not worried. Not right now. He played 2 good defenses. Okay? He'll be fine. All right? Leonard Fournette, I just said, 24 carries, 65 yards. Not much of a running game, though. All right? Brashad Perriman, 3 catches, 45 yards for a touchdown. I know Brady doesn't look sharp right now. Trust me. Let me tell you right now. They'll be fine. You don't have to worry. They'll be fine. They're 2-0, right? Okay? They're fine. Trust me. They'll be fine as the season goes on. They'll find their rhythm. They'll be fine, okay? Telling you. Let's get to the defense. Devin White. This is one of my guys. If right now, if you ask me for preseason all-pro predictions, who would get it for middle linebacker, he would have been at the top 5 for that middle linebacker position. He would have been. He gets sacks. He plays the run at a high level. He does a good job in coverage. Maybe not as great as his counterpart, Levante David, does, but he does everything very well, okay? He does a great job flying and attacking to the ball, hitting the gaps. Does a great job of all that, all right? He had 11 total tackles, 7 of them solo, 1 sack, okay? Shaq Barrett looked like the Shaq Barrett from the late Denver years, and when he came over to Tampa, he had 2 sacks, okay? All right? They had 6 team sacks as a team, Tampa, okay? 2 fumble recoveries, and Jamel Dean, 2 interceptions for him at the corner spot, opposite of Carlton Davis. That's big time step up for you, okay? Mike Edwards had the 68-yard pick 6, the backbreaker, okay? 5 of 17 on 3rd down. They will get this corrected, okay? 0-1 in the red zone. They'll get it corrected, okay? The 8 penalties, 101 yards. We're going to get into one specific one that led to Mike Evans being tossed in the game in the 4th quarter, which we'll get into in just a couple of seconds. 2 missed opportunities. I know they went for it on 4th and 1. And I think it was 3-0 New Orleans at this point. I don't know why they didn't kick the field goal. That's that. And I believe another one was when it was, I don't know if it was a missed field goal. I know it was either that. Oh, no, it was a fumble. That's what happened. Okay? And that was really where the difference was there. But they got the job done. Okay? They got it done. Defense held New Orleans in check. The running game wasn't great. Brady knew, don't turn it over. And he did that. Okay? So, it's fine. I know he's not sharp. They'll be fine. That's the biggest headline you need to know. As opposed to the New Orleans Saints. Jameis Winston, 25 of 40, 236 yards, a touchdown, 3 interceptions. That's typical Jameis for you. That's typical Jameis for you. Okay? Running game without Kamara was just all right. Chris Olave, 5 catches, 80 yards. I'll get into the blunder in just a moment. Michael Thomas, 6 catches for 65 yards and a touchdown. Looks like he's back to 2019 Michael Thomas again. Defense, They did their job. They didn't get much of a pass rush. That's the only thing I guess you could say. All right. They did have 1 sack. They didn't allow 13 points. It'll win you a game. 4-13 on third down. Not always. 1 or 2 in the red zone. Not against a good team like Tampa. No. 9 penalties. And the biggest thing, 5 turnovers. Okay? And they gave up 6 sacks allowed to that offensive line. Now, they lost, I said last week, they lost their left tackle to free agency to Miami. Teron Armstead. Okay? They drafted a kid, Trevor Penning. He's high penalty prone. Okay? Ryan Ramchick. He's a good tackle. But 6 sacks allowed on Jameis? Oof. Recipe for disaster. Okay? 5 missed opportunities. Again, see, this is what nobody wants to see. This is what we're going to use an excuse, I know, for some of you people. Okay? 5 missed opportunities. 2 fumbles. Okay? The Olave had one of them where he caught the deep ball and he fumbled. Okay? Mark Ingram fumbled. And then Jameis had 3 interceptions. This is who Jameis is. This is who you trust? I mean, seriously. Like, this is who he is. He's got a big arm, I know. But he turns it over, too. And you got to live with those. Okay? Now let's get to the fight. The Mike Evans, Marshawn Lattimore thing. Mike Evans' suspension is upheld. He's suspended for this Green Bay game. Now, I heard that they did suspend Mike Evans once back in like 2017 or 2018 for a similar thing with Lattimore. But here's my question. Why did Lattimore get suspended? If you notice there's a trend. Why is Mike Evans just suspended? So, Leonard Fournette throws a shove, he's fine. But, Mike Evans comes back and shoves Lattimore for talking shit or whatever. And what if he does, say, throw a shove on Tom Brady? And he stands there. So what is he supposed to do, just let his quarterback get hit? Come on. I know they're trying to get all the shit out of the game. I know. But come on, man. Look at the 70s and 80s freaking football. Those guys would be suspended for the season if that shit was in the rules now. Come on. I mean, I get it. It's not great. But fights happen in football. Okay? Not maybe that bad like it was back then in the 70s and 80s. I've seen a couple clips of those. All right? Not as bad as not as bad now as it was back then. But come on, man. Lattimore didn't get suspended, but Mike Evans does. I want to know why. Because Marshawn Lattimore and Mike Evans, they both haven't been in a fight for a trend. Suspend them both a game. Tell them, you fight, you jaw bang each other, suspend them. That's the way I see it. Panthers and the Giants. Baker Mayfield, 14 of 29 for 145 yards and a touchdown. Not great. Not great. Okay. Now, Christian McCaffrey, 15 carries, 102 yards. Run game did great. Between Hubbard and McCaffrey. Carolina should have been running the ball more. Okay? DJ Moore led the team in receiving, 3 catches, 43 yards, and he did catch their lone touchdown. Other than that, the receivers didn't help much. Okay? The defense did their job, held the Giants to 19. I know they lost the game, but think about it. 4 field goals and 1 time in the end zone. Under 20 mostly wins you a game. It's your quarterback and that lousy offense that couldn't get it done. Brian Burns got 2 sacks on defense, 2 of 12 on third down. Not great. Okay? Not good at all. 1 of 4 in the red zone. In a 3-point game, you got to cash in. At least one time, we'd be having a much different conversation. Okay? 2 turnovers. 2 fumbles early in the game. Hurt you. The kickoff fumble, and then they had another one after that. You put yourselves in an early hole to the point where you can't move the ball early. You're basically punting every time. And then all of a sudden you decide to score. You can't play that game. You can't. Your defense is good, but as an offense, you got to do your job too on offense. And Baker Mayfield clearly isn't doing his job well. The receivers also got to get open, I know, but Baker Mayfield didn't play well against the Browns either last week. So we can't just say, oh, it's on Baker. This game, the receivers couldn't get open, but Baker didn't play well either. The offensive line, they're all right, but they can run the ball. Maybe that's something they're going to have to do more. Because putting Baker Mayfield and asking him to throw for 300 every game is not the answer. Okay? Now let's get to the Giants. Now, I have two of my friends that are watching this probably right now. And they're Giant fans, okay? They're texting me, they're like, 2-0, I don't see the Patriots or my friend Joey's team, the Steelers, okay? And they're texting me, this is our year, top 5 defense in the league. I'm like, you beat Tennessee on a lucky 2-point conversion and you beat Carolina. Okay, what do you want, a cookie? Like, who have you beaten? Who did you beat? Did you not see Tennessee Monday night? You're flexing your muscles about that? I know, 2-point conversion. But luck happens to be on your side at the moment. Again, see, here we go again. Two not so great teams. Both teams are 0-2. And you're flexing your muscles. See, okay. I'm telling you guys this. Now, the Giants, let me give you guys a little something. I'm a Patriot fan. You guys know this. You guys are probably going to say, oh, I'm a Giants fan. I don't like them. I'll publicly admit it. But let me tell you this. This is facts right here. The Giants have had 2 winning seasons, 10-6 in 2012. They didn't make the playoffs. All right? I think it was 10-6 in 2012. No, it might have been, it was 8-8, 9-7. Probably, I don't even think it might have been 2 winning seasons. I might be wrong on that. But I'm going to go with 8-8. Probably off, but whatever. I know they did have 1 winning season, 2016, where they went 11-5, beat the Cowboys twice. I know this, okay? And they got to the playoff game. But what happened in that playoff game? Oh, yeah, Aaron Rodgers blew them the fuck out in Lambeau Field. Oh, yeah. And what have you done since 2012 exactly? 1 playoff appearance. How many division titles have you won? 0. How many playoff wins you have? 0. How many championship games or Super Bowls you been in? 0. So, what have you been in the last 10 years? You have been what Stephen A. likes to call an accident waiting to happen. Now, when they had Joe Judge, when they had Pat Shurmur, when they had Ben Diner Menu McAdoo, okay, the accident waiting to happen was bound to happen. All you could say was just wait. I'm going to tell you again, I like Brian Daboll. I like Wink Martindale. They did better, in the coaching staff. No doubt about it. But I'm telling you, don't get too full of yourselves. You beat 2 shit teams. You're lucky I don't say you're frauds right now, because right now I would say it, okay? But you got a good team coming up in a few weeks in London. I want to see how you do against them. I won't say who. You know your schedule. You should be checking ahead, okay? But I'm telling you this, Giant fans, I'm telling you, don't get too full of yourselves, okay? Because, like, the accident waiting to happen that Stephen A. says the Cowboys are, that's what you guys are going to be, okay? You guys have been there the last 10 years, okay? The Giants, everybody knows this. What can go wrong will go wrong. They have an easy schedule. They should win some of their games, okay? I'm telling you, don't get full of yourselves. I know shit's looking sweet with rainbows and don't give me that shit beating Carolina and Tennessee. Both teams are 0-4 combined. Don't give me that shit. What can go wrong will go wrong. Just wait. The accident is waiting to happen. It's not going to happen now. I'm not going to tell you when. I'm just telling you, what can go wrong will go wrong. It's happened the last 10 years. I'm telling you, something's going to happen. All right? I'm telling you, I know this shit. All right? I've seen it too. I've seen the movie over and over. It gets great. Trust me. I can't wait till they play Philly. I can't wait till they play all these good teams coming up. Oh, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Philly's going to beat you guys so bad out the door. Trust me. What can go wrong will go wrong with the Giants. They're an accident waiting to happen. Just wait. Just wait. Sit back and enjoy, folks, because it's going to happen. All right? speaking of my Patriots. Patriots and the Steelers. Watch this game real closely. All right. Oh, actually, let me finish with the Giants. My fault. Saquon, 21 of 72. This is what your offense should be, the Giants. Okay? Daniel Jones, 22 of 34, 176, and a touchdown. Average performance by him. Okay? Run game other than Saquon, not that great. Some no-name Bellinger caught a touchdown. Okay? Receivers, not sold on them. Okay? Galladay's supposedly unhappy of not playing much. Tony's MIA. Okay? Offensive line still has question marks. 3 sacks allowed. Have you seen Dallas's defense? Yeah, good luck on Monday night at home. Okay? The defense did give up 16. They did get 2 sacks, 6 of 18, 1 of 3 in the red zone. He had an interception in the red zone last week, and they're still struggling in the red zone this week. 8 penalties, okay, for 62 yards. All I'm saying about the Giants is what I just said. Just wait. The accident is bound to happen. Accident waiting to happen, they are. What can go wrong will go wrong. Trust me, okay? Now let's get into the Patriots and the Steelers. My fault. Mac Jones, I watched this game. 21 of 35, 252 yards, a touchdown and interception. In my opinion, he played well, okay? The one interception I'll get into in a little bit, all right? The running game, Damian Harris, 15 carries, 71 yards, and a touchdown. This is what we needed to do. We need to keep building what we did last year with the running game, but we need to be able to let Mac grow in the passing game and try to give him good concepts, good plays. Granted, we have an idiot running offense, I know, but still, this is what we need to do, okay? Give him comfortable plays, all right? Let the run game help him out a bit. We'll be fine. All right, offensive line played a clean game, no sacks allowed. That's what we need, okay? Against a good Pittsburgh team. Now, everybody's going to say, well, they had no T.J. Watt, Rich. I know, but they had Cam Hayward, who was a Pro Bowl, All-Pro player, okay? Alex Highsmith, I told you guys, had 3 sacks against Cincinnati last week, okay? Malik Reed's a nice young player for the Steelers. They even put DeMarvin Leal out on the edge from Texas A&M, the rookie. All right, I watched this. They move guys around. So, Pittsburgh's got a good group of pass rushers. They're not slouches, trust me. Okay? Now, Nelson Aguilar, 6 catches, 110 yards. He caught a big touchdown. Finally, I could say, none of my undersized corners got put on a weekly Moss highlight reel. Finally, they didn't. But Nelson Aguilar put Ahkello Witherspoon, good corner. He put him on a Moss highlight reel. And Nelson Aguilar is like 5'11", I think. Ahkello Witherspoon's like 6'2". I mean, I'll take it. I'll take it. And it was a tough ball. I watched it live. I'm going, no, because I thought it was going to get picked. And he caught it. I was like, oh, let's go. That's what I was like. All right, it was a lot louder, but yeah. Jacoby Myers, 9 catches for 95 yards. The defense gave up 14. 3 sacks. Jalen Mills, a.k.a. Green Goblin. No, he's not the Green Goblin. He hasn't earned a nickname yet. All right, he earned it in Philly when they won the Super Bowl. To me, he's not Green Goblin, okay? He's not. But he did get a nice interception that was helped with him. Mac Wilson tipped. I watched the game. I know. Okay, Brandon Schooler. You guys are probably like, who's this no-name? Special teams. He had a fumble recovery on our former punt returner, Gunnar Olszewski. Okay? 3rd down, we were 9 of 17. Over 50%. That's great. 1 of 3 in the red zone. We could get better on that. We weren't great, but we can get better on that. 2 missed opportunities. Missed field goal from 52 yards. We're supposed to have a good kicker, but Nick Folk, if you guys remember from the Dallas days, he was missing a lot. So, okay. And the Jets, he actually was not that bad. So, I'm not that crazy sold. And I remember him in Tampa when he missed all those field goals on that Thursday night game versus us. So, we've seen the bad Nick Folk before, okay? The interception, that was the only bad thing Mac Jones had. Because Mika's playing the strong safety from the right side, and he's got, when he throws it to Parker, there's another, I want to say it was a corner, another safety on his left side. So Parker's in the middle, and there's 2 Steelers defenders sandwiched in. And he throws it to Mika. Now, Mika made a great play on the ball, I know, but Mac Jones has got to learn You can't throw that into double coverage all the time. Okay? Plus, that ball was underthrown. Devontae Parker was behind it. Can't do that. All right? But he'll learn. I'm very confident that he'll learn. Okay? Now, big win on the road for us. All right? We actually beat a real team, Giants fans. Okay? Mitchell Trubisky, 21 of 33, 168 yards. He had a touchdown and an interception. Running game with an injured Najee Harris was okay. Jalen Warren, when he was in the game, he did pretty good. All right? Freiermuth caught a touchdown. All right? Deontay Johnson, underrated receiver, 6 catches for 57 yards. Defense held us to 17. It'll win you most games, but your offense is to pick it up. And I told you guys last week, 7 drives Pittsburgh had of punts in a Cincinnati game, and the defense helped score a touchdown. Their offense really scored 23? So they really scored, I want to say 16. Maybe not that much, but they really didn't help out a lot. And this game again, too. I talked about the Minka interception. 8 of 15 on third down will work if you can move the ball and get in a scoring range. They couldn't. Okay? 2 turnovers. They had the muff punt, the interception. 3-point ball game. That's the difference in the game. All right? The interception was when they were going in, about past midfield. That's tough. And then the muff punt, you gave us basically a touchdown there. Yeah. Like I said, missed opportunities and turnovers are your 2 biggest killers into why you lose a game. It's those that take advantage of those missed opportunities and those that don't make those happen. If that makes any bit of sense. Colts and the Jaguars. Colts got some major problems. Okay? Matt Ryan, 16 of 30, 195 yards, 3 interceptions. 2 division rivals, 2 of the weakest teams in your division, and you don't look impressive in any of those games. That's concerning, okay? Mainly Matt Ryan throwing 3 interceptions, okay? Jonathan Taylor had 9 carries, 54 yards. By his standards, it's not a great game, okay? A.J. Dulin, 5 catches for 79 yards. He ended up being the Colts' leading receiver. The offensive line, who I have said is a top 5 offensive line in the league. Cleveland's up there. Tampa would be up there if they're healthy, but they're not. The Niners, I believe, are up there. But Alex Mack retired, so I got to see how that plays out. But bottom line is, Colts are a top 5 offense in the league because they have Pro Bowl players, they have All-Pro players. From guard, tackle, center, okay? And they gave up 5 sacks against the Jacksonville Jaguars. 5. Won't get that done. The defense, now I know, DeForest Buckner did not play. D-tackle. Shaquille Leonard, linebacker, didn't play. 2 best players on defense didn't play. All right? I know that's concerning. All right? But they didn't play well in general. They gave up 24. They couldn't get a takeaway. They couldn't get a sack. Okay? They were 0 for 2 in the red zone, 2 of 10 on third down, 3 turnovers, and 3 missed opportunities. Okay? 2 turnover on downs, and they were both in Jacksonville territory. So they had a chance to score, at least get a field goal and not get shut out. They had 2 turnover on downs. Now, Frank Reich, he's a good coach, but let's be honest. Since his first year in Indianapolis, what has he done? He cost them the Bills game in 2020 with Phillip Rivers. They were going in early in the game. It was almost half. Those of you that watch that game, you know what I'm talking about. Okay? 2021. Last year, they were in position to win a wild card, to get in the wild card. They lost to the Raiders at home, and they lost in Jacksonville. When all they had to do was win and in scenario, and they lost. And then you look like this in 2 games of the season. Uh-oh. Frank Reich's in trouble. Hot seat. You got Kansas City next week at home in a must-win game. Your backs are against the wall. You lose to KC, sky might be falling in Indianapolis. Okay? Sky might be falling. All right? And the other missed opportunity was an interception. So 2 turnover on downs and an interception. Colts, you have major problems. And it's not good when you don't look good against the 2 far less superior teams in your division. And you haven't even played the Titans yet, who look bad enough as they are. Speaking of the Jaguars, first place in the AFC South through 2 weeks. The Jaguars. I know, I can't believe it. 25-30, Trevor Lawrence. 235 yards, 2 touchdowns. Played well. Okay? Played well. Even I thought game 1 he played well. All right? James Robinson, touchdown. Running game did okay. Christian Kirk, Mr. 20 million per man receiver before Tyreek and Devontae Adams got 30 million, I think. 6 catches, 78 yards, 2 touchdowns. Playing great for them. Playing good so far. Josh Allen, the linebacker DN for the Jaguars. Not the Bills, Josh Allen. There's Josh Allen and the Jaguars. 2 of the team's 5 sacks. Okay? 3 interceptions as a team. One of them by Devin Lloyd. Defense did great. This game, Jacksonville, is what you build on. Okay? Your defense, they're young. They have to play well. Your running game has to help Trevor Lawrence. And Trevor Lawrence has to just keep getting better and better as the season goes on, which I believe he will do. All right? Let's get into the Miami-Baltimore game. Caught the last 5 minutes of this game. Even checked it on my phone when I was checking fantasy football for some of my guys. I had Jalen Waddle in this game. My opponent had Tyreek. Both put up 40. Okay? Tua. Now I know, I haven't been the biggest Tua fan. Still not. All right? Been critical. Overly critical at times, some people want to say. I really don't care. I will give you this, Tua. You played a great game. You played a great game. 36 of 50. 469 yards. 6 touchdowns. Did have 2 early interceptions. Came back down 21. Looked like he was at Alabama with all the best players. Okay? I got to give it to him. He won on the road, came back down 21. I got to give it to him. But it's game 2. I need to see you down the road when you play these tough teams. I know your schedule, Miami. I know you play down the road. I want to see those teams how you do. This is a good win. I will give them where it's due. But I need to see down the road because I know the good teams you're playing down the road. I do. And they're not that easy. Oh, no. Your schedule, Dolphins fans. I'm just saying. Okay? Just saying. Running game did good. Tyreek, 40 fantasy points. 11 catches, 190 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jalen Waddle, 11 catches, 171, 2 touchdowns. Caught the game winner. Looks like Alabama. Speed all over the field. Bombs away type offense. Okay? Mike Gesicki had a touchdown. Some no-name Croft. Forgive me for butchering him. He caught a touchdown. 7 of 11 on 3rd down. That's great. 8 penalties, though. That is like a seesaw. You got away with it, but in most games, 8 penalties will not help you. Okay? 2 turnovers in the first half they were able to overcome, but 2 turnovers. The Ravens, I think, cashed in on both turnovers in the first half. I might be wrong on that, but either way, I know they were up 28-7 at one point, so they probably did. 7 points Miami had in the first half. They had 28 in the fourth. 28 in the fourth. Now, I think that's on the defense of the Ravens. That's on John Harbaugh for a couple things I'll get into momentarily. The defense in Miami, for the most part, they were awful. All right? I know they stopped Lamar in the 3rd quarter, in the 4th. I know. But they did give up a 79-yard rush. They did let Lamar cook. Okay? They gave up 38 points, though. I mean, that's not great. Okay? That's not great. They had no sacks, no takeaways. Yeah, I'm a little shaky about that defense. I know Byron Jones is out, but still. Little shaky by my standards. A little shaky. Speaking of the Ravens, Lamar Jackson, 21 of 29, 318, 3 touchdowns. And he had 9 carries for 119 and a touchdown. 79-yard rushing touchdown, like I alluded to earlier. Played really well. Played one of his best games, I thought. Okay? He played great. Ran the ball well. Threw the ball well. And other than that, the running game got shut down. Outside of Lamar, outside of the one big run. Okay? Rashad Bateman, 4 catches, 106 yards. Mark Andrews, who was quiet last week, 9 for 104 and a touchdown. Demarcus Robinson, I don't know how the Raiders let him go, but he caught a touchdown. Offensive line kept Lamar clean. But the defense sold for Lamar Jackson. Mainly in the fourth quarter. 42 points allowed. Marcus Williams did have 2 interceptions. They had 1 sack. I know. 3 of 10 on third down. But guess who I'm blaming the loss on today? John Harbaugh is a great coach. But damn it, this loss is on you. And I'm serious. This loss was on John Harbaugh. Okay? 2 missed opportunities. Okay? The difference in the game. 4th and 1. At the goal line. You have a chance to go up 10-0. Miami hasn't scored at this point. 4th and goal from the inch line. I know, but sometimes put the pressure on Miami because it's a 2-possession game early. Nope, nope, I don't know what you're doing on 4th and 1. I understand you're going for analytics. But analytics, I'm telling you guys right now, they ruin the game. Okay, they're ruining the game. Stuffed on the goal line. What's worse is the second time you go for it on 4th and 1. At midfield, you're up 21. You're up 21 points. And damn it, they blow and damn it, you get stopped at midfield. And that started Miami's comeback. You're up 21 and you're going for it on 4th and 1. Heck, you have the best kicker in the league. Are you kidding me? What? I mean, damn. You got 2 missed opportunities cost you the game. They did. You have the best kicker in the game. You pass it up early. And then 4th and 1, you have Miami up 21. All the pressure's on Miami if you punt it away and stuff. No. You ignited Miami's comeback by getting stopped on 4th and 1 twice in this game. Twice. Analytics is ruining the game. I'm telling you, there's times when to get it, and then there's times where you just overthink it, and it just completely changes momentum in the game. Oh, analytics, you people have ruined the game to an extent. It's like you threw opportunities away. You threw it away. Atlanta and the Rams. Mariota, 17 to 26, 196, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I thought he was all right. I did. I thought he was okay. All right. Running game did okay. Drake London, the rookie receiver, 8 catches, 86 yards and a touchdown. He's been looking really good. Zacchaeus had a touchdown. Defense didn't do great. 31 points allowed. I know they got 2 interceptions. But that Atlanta offense, another team that's right now, to me, the king of missed opportunities. Atlanta Falcons, you guys are the kings of missed opportunities. Damn, you could have pulled off a 28-3 comeback, and we would have got rid of all the 28-3 memes. Probably some of them would have stayed, but most of them would have been gone had you beat the Rams in Rams. Nope. The 28-3 memes still stay with them, okay? 3 of 10 on third down. Not great. 2 of 4 in the red zone. Especially that pick Jalen Ramsey. Yeah, we'll get into that in a little bit. 3 turnovers. 5 penalties. 4 missed opportunities. 4. Okay? Missed field goal, 1. You lost by 4. Turnover on downs. Another one hurts you. 2 interceptions, including the one end the game. Ramsey gets it. I want to say it was over Drake London or Kyle Pitts' head. And that's why Mariota is Mariota. That's why. He's just all right. But he can make a whole lot of mistakes. Okay? Yeah, that's why the Falcons are the Falcons. 4 missed opportunities. And we talked about the Saints game, how many missed opportunities they had. Nope. Matthew Stafford, 27 to 36, 272 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Running game, did okay. Darrell Henderson had a rushing touchdown. Cooper Kupp looks unguardable again. 11 catches, 108 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did fumble, though. Every great receiver has it. So, that's that. Al Robinson caught a touchdown. First time in a Rams uniform. Defense did good. 20 points allowed. 2 interceptions. They did have 3 sacks. A fumble recovery. They were great on third down. 60%. 6 out of 10. They did have 3 turnovers. Sean McVay has got to be like, we're still turning the ball over 3 times. Now, block punt was one of them, but the fumble to Kupp on Kupp was one. And then, yeah, they've got some. Oh, it's Matt Stafford had 2 interceptions. And then Kupp had the fumble. I guess they didn't count the block punt as one. But Rams don't look like the team that everybody thinks they are right now through 2 games. They look sluggish. Seahawks and the Niners. I told you, Seattle, Geno Smith, he's not going to have that perfect game again. It was just that one time he played great. And I told you he's going to revert back to the old Geno. 24 of 30, 197, interception. Not great. Not great. Okay? Running game didn't do well either. Tyler Lockett, 9 catches, 107 yards. Defense didn't do great either. 1 sack. They gave up 27. That's lately what Seattle's been on defense. No, not really much of a pass rush, and they give up a lot of points. 2 of 7 on third down. Terrible. That won't get it done. 10 penalties for 106 yards. Not good. 3 turnovers. And the missed opportunity was the interception. Yeah. Frauds. They're not making the playoffs. Guarantee they're not making the playoffs. No way. No way. Okay? I know somebody picked them. I know somebody picked them to go to the playoffs. You know who you are. They're not going. They're not going. I'm glad you didn't call me Monday night because I would have told you. You remember last year? Yeah. They're not going to the playoffs. All right? Now the 49ers. Let's get this out of the way first. All seriousness. We got to get this out of the way. It sucks what happened to Trey Lance because I wanted to see him play a full season just to see how he looks. I know the first couple of games he didn't look great at all. The monsoon rainstorm in Chicago, and then he filled in 1 game for Garoppolo, and he didn't look really that good when the Cardinals were hot. But it sucks that he has a broken ankle and he's out for the year. It sucks. All right? I wanted to see what he could do because, Kyle Shanahan has a scheme that's meant for him and everything. I wanted to see what he could do, and it sucks that he's out for the year. It really is. Because we just don't know how good he's going to be. And this, unfortunately, is a sad situation. But this is why the Niners kept Garoppolo. Maybe because they figured Lance was a little injury prone. And, by the way, Lance looked in the preseason. He didn't look great. So the Niners, be happy you have Jimmy Garoppolo and you kept him. You didn't release him. And that another team didn't pick him up. Yeah. For a multitude of reasons we could look at this. But I'm looking at it like this. Because of the current situation right now. Okay? So, Jimmy Garoppolo, 13 to 21, 154 yards, touchdown. Okay, now it's Jimmy's team again. It's going to feel awkward now because Kyle Shanahan and them kind of pushed Jimmy out the back door. I don't know how Jimmy's going to play now. I don't know how he's going to feel going into games playing for a team that really doesn't want him anymore. I do feel bad for Jimmy, I do. Because he's not a bad... He has bad games, but every quarterback has bad games. I know the playoff game against the Packers even play well. All right, but this is now another opportunity to make the most of it and prove, you know what? I'm going to take the most of this. I'm going to take advantage of this. I'm going to be better. Had an all right game, but again, now it's your team again. And I think the Niners have a better shot to win now with Garoppolo than Lance because we don't know how Lance would be. Lance stinks up. There's a lot of pressure on John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. But now they have a proven quarterback that they've gotten far with before, and now this is their opportunity. Running game did good. Ross Dwelly caught a 38-yard touchdown. Nick Bosa, 2 sacks. All right, he's tied, I believe, with Micah Parsons with 4 sacks. I don't know if that's true or not, but I know that he's at least got 3, maybe 4. Defense got 2 interceptions. They did great in general, okay? 205 in the red zone. Kyle Shanahan's going to work on that. All right, they did get a blocked field goal, which gave Seattle 7 points. Other than that, it would have been a perfect game. All right? But the Niners, told you guys they'd be fine. Seattle, frauds, you're not making the playoffs. Guaranteed, they're not making the playoffs. Bengals and the Cowboys. Joe Burrow played okay. All right, 24 of 36, 199 yards, touchdown. Didn't turn over, okay? Running game, mix in them. They did good too. Higgins was the leading receiver, 6 catches, 71 yards. The defense got 1 sack, got 1 takeaway off a Dalton Schultz fumble. Offensive line continues to be the big story in Cincinnati. It was the same thing last year, and it's the same bullshit again. They can't protect Joe Burrow. 6 sacks you gave up to the Cowboys. 6. You gave up darn near 7 to the Steelers. Okay, it was at least 6 last week too. Now you got 6 this week. 13 sacks in 2 games allowed. And they invested in the line in the offseason. And they're still giving up sacks. 7 in game 1, 6 in game 2. At this rate, Joe Burrow's going to be like Andrew Luck. He's going to be so beat up, he can't do it no more. And I don't wish that on Joe Burrow. I hope he's going to be fine. I really like him. But damn, Cincinnati, did you not watch what the Colts did with Andrew Luck all those years with freaking Ryan Grigson giving him no line? You remember that? I do. Now my cousin, he's watching. He calls Andrew Luck a bust. I don't think he is, but that's a separate conversation, okay? But, Joe Burrow's heading Andrew Luck territory because Cincinnati can't block anybody for this kid. I feel bad for Joe Burrow. I do. Okay? Andrew Luck had the same situation. But the difference is Joe Burrow went to a Super Bowl. Andrew Luck did not. Okay? So, I'm just saying, I am concerned in that perspective because I want Joe Burrow to play for a long time. I really like him. But he's heading down Andrew Luck territory right now. These last 2 years, he's getting hit a lot. I mean, damn. And they invest in the line, and they're still giving up sacks. That's a problem. 6 of 17 on 3rd down. 7 penalties. Not that impressed. That needs some work. Speaking of the Cowboys. Well, I guess they're not the worst team, according to FBI. Football Power Index. They had them as the 2nd worst team. Cooper Rush, 19 of 31. 235 yards. Touchdown. Played well. Remember last time we saw Cooper Rush? He went into Minnesota, led a game-winning drive, and beat the Vikings. Tony Pollard, he had a rushing touchdown. Okay? And, Noah Brown, 5 catches, 91 yards, and a touchdown. CeeDee Lamb, 7 for 75. Okay? Running game was okay. Parsons, Dorace Armstrong, forgive me if I said his name wrong, 2 sacks each, okay? 17 points allowed will win you games, all right? That's what the unit's going to need to step up. The Dallas defense is going to need to step up, all right? And that running game with Zeke and Pollard needs to eat. And CeeDee Lamb, he's going to have to be big, but if he gets doubled, guys like Noah Brown, Jalen Tolbert, Dalton Schultz, they need to step up with Dak being gone, okay? They need to step up. All right. Now, 3 of 10 on 3rd down, that won't do it. The 1 turnover, that was a missed opportunity. Dalton Schultz fumble. That's going to be concerning. Texans and the Broncos. Davis Mills, 19 of 38 for 177 yards. Average. Average. Okay? For a second-year quarterback. Average. All right? Running game, not existent. Outside of Dameon Pierce, who had 15 carries for 69 yards. Now, I don't know why Lovie Smith did not run the ball more with him, but damn it, why? He was doing good for you, running the ball. You clearly have nobody else going. You're in a one-score game. You've stopped feeding him the ball. Why? Your receivers can't get open left and right. I mean, dang. Like I said, they got to step up. I don't think one guy hit over 50 yards. Offensive line gave up 3 sacks. The defense played well. They gave up 16. They got 3 sacks. Christian Kirksey, the linebacker, an interception. But they can't convert on third down, 2 of 13. Red zone offense, they were 0 for 1. 8 penalties they gave up for 94 yards. And the one missed opportunity was a turnover on downs. I don't get the Texans, and I know they're rebuilding, but why did you stop handing the ball to Pierce? That was the only thing you had going for you. Your receivers can't get open. Davis Mills is not winning you a game on the road. They're not. I just don't get it. I don't. Speaking of Denver, Russell Wilson, 14 of 31, 219 yards, touchdown and interception. Running game did okay with Javonte Williams, Melvin Gordon. It's Cortland Sutton, the only receiver that could get things going. 7 catches, 122 yards. They too gave up 3 sacks allowed. Okay? Draymond Jones had 2 sacks. They were 3 of 12 on third down. They had 1 turnover. 13 penalties for 100 yards. 13 penalties for 100 yards. And again, I'm going to go off on Nathaniel Hackett. You had 12 penalties on Monday. You had 13 this game, right? Your coaching blunders cost you game 1. Large part because you fumbled twice. The running backs fumbled twice in the goal line. You couldn't answer. You couldn't move the ball in Seattle, really. Except put it in the red zone. You guys were horrible there. I watched this game a little bit before half. And the play calling of Hackett, I swear, is head-scratching. Like, what are you doing? Run the ball. No, he wants to throw it and incomplete. Rolling Wilson out to the right. Okay? High overthrown to the sideline on another one. What are you doing? Run the ball. You have 2 good, solid backs. You clearly can't move the ball. You're not going to throw the ball in the red zone every time. Because as they say, the red zone coverages get tighter. The running game, you need to open up more in there. But no! Nathaniel Hackett thinks, oh, I have a smart mind like my dad used to. Paul Hackett, who was a great offensive mind, yes. But you have 2 backs and you can't punch it in. I don't know why. But his play calling's very, very head-scratching. That's the word I'll use. Not impressed. All right? I don't think Denver is that good right now through 2 games. Cardinals and the Las Vegas Raiders. I watched this game the most out of the late games. Kyler Murray had an awful first half. Finished 31 of 49, 277 yards, touchdown, and interception. Like I said, awful first half, crazy second half. All right? Darrell Williams, I think, had a touchdown. I probably got the wrong Williams. All right? Greg Dortch, 4 catches, 55 yards, and a touchdown he had. Okay? Kyler had a rushing touchdown that forced overtime. Okay? Zach Ertz, 8 catches, 75 yards. Hollywood Brown, 6 for 68. The defense, 23 they gave up. 1 sack. They had the big touchdown with the Byron Murphy fumble recovery. So that was big that the defense did chip in with some points. But 3 of 13 on third down, they were awful. 12 penalties for 120 yards. 12 penalties for 120 yards. Okay? That's coaching. Cliff Kingsbury, you complain, we had an awful week of practice against, the week leading up to the Chiefs. You had 12 penalties for 120 yards. That's on you, okay? Seriously. He is not all that, I'm telling you guys. 3 missed opportunities. 2 turnover on downs. Again, he's got some questionable play calling like Nathaniel Hackett. And they had an interception on 1 going in Las Vegas territory. Again, I am not sold on Kingsbury, and I do not think Arizona's going to be that good. This is one of those fluky games where things don't look great one half, and then you catch fire in the second half, and momentum goes on your side. Derek Carr, 25 of 39, 252 yards, 2 touchdowns. Great first half. Second half, no show, really. They didn't do much. Josh Jacobs did okay. Running game, outside of Jacobs, they didn't do much, okay? There was no run game outside of him. 0, okay? Darren Waller, 6 catches, 50 yards, and a touchdown. Devontae Adams finished with 2 catches for 12 yards and a touchdown. Now, I love Josh McDaniels. He won us some Super Bowls, okay? I need to know what happened and why Devontae Adams has only 2 catches, and he's your best receiver. Why does he have 2 catches for 12 yards? Why? Why is Matt Collins getting more touches than Hunter Renfrow, who's your slot receiver? I need to know why this, because this makes 0 sense. I think he got conservative in the second half, and Patriot fans remember this. There were a couple games where he took the foot off the gas a little bit. This was the first sign in Las Vegas. He did that. I don't know why he doesn't keep going attack, attack, attack. They're moving great on Arizona through the air. They did get the run game going, but they just weren't in attack mode. They just felt like they were going through the motions. It was a little too conservative. I don't know why. All right, and that's what happens with Josh McDaniels lately. In the last couple of years, there's been some conservative play calling. I think this bite him in the ass this game. All right, now the defense, they weren't that much better. 1 sack they got on Kyler, which was Max Crosby. 23 points allowed. They had the 1 interception. 10 penalties, though. They had 3 punts in the second half. No, not 3 punts. 3 points. 3. And McDaniels is an offensive mind who's a really good offensive mind. But 3 in the second half. And the fumble that iced the game was a missed opportunity. And that was a loss. That's why you're 0-2. Bears and the Packers. Justin Fields didn't do well. I don't know why he's only throwing 11 times and why he only had 70 yards. I don't know why. I know they ran the ball well on Green Bay, but you got to let Fields learn, whether it's mistakes, something. You got to let him do something. Doesn't feel like they're letting him do anything, okay? Montgomery, 15 carries, 122 yards, all right? And the receivers didn't help out at all. We knew this was going to be Chicago's biggest question. They didn't help him out at all. Defense, though, did get 3 sacks. They didn't get a takeaway, though. You got to get a takeaway against great quarterbacks like Rodgers if you're trying to pull an upside. They didn't. They were 1 of 7 on third down. They couldn't even keep the money. They couldn't move on the money down. 7 penalties, though. All right? They had the missed opportunity, which was the turnover on downs in the red zone. If you score, pressure goes back on Green Bay a little bit. No, they didn't do that. All right? So, Chicago, we know why they're going to be one of the worst in the league. Aaron Rodgers, 19 of 25, 234 yards, 2 touchdowns. Efficient. We know that's what Aaron Rodgers is. Okay? We knew this was a bounce-back spot. Okay? Run game, 8. Aaron Jones, 15 for 132 and a touchdown. Had a receiving touchdown as well. A.J. Dillon, 18 carries for 61 yards. All right, Sammy Watkins led the team in receiving, 3 for 93. Lazard, in his first game back, caught a touchdown. Preston Smith on defense, 2 sacks for him of the team's 3. Jai Alexander, he's back. He got an interception. Made an All-Pro in 2020. Okay? 5 of 9 on third down will work. They had the 1 missed opportunity in the game, but they won by 3 scores. Green Bay, we knew would be back. This was the perfect game for that. Titans and the Bills. Watch this game too. Tannehill played awful. All right? I don't know. I think he's got a short leash in Tennessee. 11 of 20. 117 yards, 2 interceptions. You have not played well at all. And we're starting to see why the Titans drafted Malik Willis. I'm telling you guys, since Tannehill got that contract in 2020, he has not earned any of it. He has not. Postseason choke after postseason choke and subpar regular season play. He hasn't earned it to me. He just doesn't look great. Derrick Henry, he had a foot injury last year. Before that, he was on a crazy record tear. He doesn't look the same. And this is why I stayed away from him in fantasy. Fantasy owners, those smart ones, you know you fade a guy like him. Because he gets so many carries, he gets beat up, and then he gets his injury, and you're like, oh, well, it's a foot, it's not the bet. No, he didn't look the same in the playoff game either. All right? He doesn't look the same. And that's what happens to the great running backs, unfortunately. 1 injury, and they're not the same. Unfortunately, I think it's happened to Derrick Henry because he doesn't look the same. He doesn't. Receivers, this is why A.J. Brown being gone was the biggest question mark. They got to step up. Robert Woods did okay, but these other guys, they got to step up. Treylon Burks is okay. They got to find a way to get him the ball, maybe a little bit. The defense, though, when you get one sack and you give up 34 points allowed and you commit 9 penalties as a team, you're getting blown out the door. That's just the way it is. The Bills, I mean, same story as last week. Josh Allen, 26 of 38, 317 yards, 4 touchdowns. I mean, what else is new, right? Running game did not do much. Stephon Diggs, 12 for 148 and 3 touchdowns. I mean, my Lord. And Gabe Davis was out, and they still blew the doors off Tennessee. I'm going to call this out right now. I had a bold prediction last year. I'm going to say it this time. I think the Bills' offense is not only going to finish number 1 in scoring, they're going to have a record-setting year at this rate. Now, I know they got Miami next week, all right? But they got a cupcake schedule, some people say. They got receivers everywhere. I said this after game 1. They're going to put up a record-setting year on offense since the Chiefs in 2018. Now, I don't know where they'll rank compared to some of the all-time great offenses, but it's going to be there this year. I have a very strong feeling. They're letting Allen throw. They got receivers everywhere. They got running backs. They got tight end Dawson Knox. They got everything. They're loaded. Okay, it's going to be a record-setting year in Buffalo. All right, I really do. I really do strongly believe that. Okay, Reggie Gilliam had a receiving touchdown, 2 special teams fumble recoveries. Great again, defense. 7 points allowed, 2 interceptions. Matt Milano, the linebacker, to pick 6. If this happens every game for the Bills, you're not beating them in the AFC. You're not. Like I said last week, the only way to beat Josh Allen and them, get them off on the field on 3rd down, and you got to win the turnover margin and take advantage. That's your only hope. Because at this rate, that's the only way to beat them. Lately. That's the only way to beat them. And I don't know if there's a team right now that can do that. I don't. I don't care if it's 2 games. I'm just calling it like with my own eyes. And that's it. All right? Vikings and Eagles. Kirk Cousins played awful, like he usually does on Monday night, primetime stage. He played awful. Okay? 27 of 46, 221 yards, touchdown, 3 interceptions. Running game did awful. They didn't help him out much. Irv Smith Jr. had a receiving touchdown. Defense had 3 sacks, interception, but they couldn't do anything on 3rd down. They were 4 of 12, okay? They were 1 for 4 in the red zone. They had 3 turnovers, okay? They had 3 missed opportunities, mainly 4, but let's say 3, because they had 3 interceptions going in Eagles territory, and they threw a pick every one of those times. If you cash in on all of them, we're having a different conversation, okay? But Kirk Cousins, this is why he's an average quarterback to slightly above average. He's just a guy on the big stage you can't trust to win many big games for you. All right? And that's just the reality of the situation. Jalen Hurts, 26 of 31 for 333 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. He played really well this game. He really did. And he didn't just do it through the air. He did it through the ground game as well. Okay? He had 2 rushing touchdowns. The running game did good. All right? Miles Sanders. They have Kenneth Gainwell. I think Boston Scott's still there. They have running backs. Okay? And Jalen Hurts can run too. They have designed runs for him. So that's a big deal for, defenses to handle. Quez Watkins, he had the 53-yard touchdown from Jalen Hurts. The defense did great. I mean, top to bottom, the Eagles are stacked from a roster standpoint. 7 points allowed. They had 2 sacks. Darius Slay had 2 interceptions. Okay, he took that battle with Justin Jefferson personally. All right, 2 interceptions. He clamped him up. That's a big-time stage to show why you're one of the best at your position. Darius Slay took full advantage. Avonte Maddox had an interception. 7 of 13, great on 3rd down. 8 penalties. They had a blocked field goal, which was the one thing that went wrong, but they'll be fine. They look really good. They got a game against the Commanders. Let's see how that goes in Washington, because those NFC East games, crazy things happen. All right, so those are the Week 2 picks. Now let's get into the week three picks. I think I had an all right week last week. Probably did okay, but I know I got one score right. I got the 17-14 Patriots score right. So let's try to get another one right or more this week. Let's kick it off Thursday night. Steelers and the Browns. Both offenses are struggling, but both defenses are okay, and they're both pretty good. But if I have to go by who I trust more, I'm taking Trubisky over Brissett, and I think the Steelers win in Cleveland. I just don't have confidence in Brissett. I think the Steelers are smart enough to keep an eye on Nick Chubb and stop the running game. I think that the Steelers' playmakers are better than Cleveland's are. I know their offensive line is not really that great, but I trust Mike Tomlin over Kevin Stefanski. I'll take the Steelers 20, the Browns 14. The Bears and the Texans. Garbage bowl, if you ask me. Let's go with the Bears, 23-20. I think the Bears, they've been very competitive, minus the Green Bay game. I think the Bears at home, I like them more. I think Justin Fields, they got to let him throw more. I just don't like what the Texans are doing at all offensively. I'll take the Bears 23-20 at home. Vegas Raiders and Tennessee Titans. Somebody's going to be 0-3. And I'm sorry, I'm going with my gut on this. I think the Las Vegas Raiders do beat Tennessee. I think Josh McDaniels gets the Raiders to play much better. I got them 31-17 over the Titans. I just think the Titans have too many bad things going on for them. They just don't look at all what they've been the last couple of years. Vegas will get their offense clicking. It starts with this game. They win 31-17. Chiefs and the Colts. Colts have their backs against the wall, and they are in a must-win scenario early, okay? Chiefs have 10 days off, all right? I am going with the Chiefs 34-30 because at the end of the day, I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. The Colts have to play really, really well. But I just think Mahomes, I trust more over Matt Ryan. I don't know what the Colts defense is. I don't know if Buckner and Leonard are going to play. I'm going with the Chiefs 34-30. Bills in Miami. What did I just say about the Bills? Do I really think Miami has the ingredients to beat them? I don't know. I know they can score with them maybe if we're going by the Ravens game, but the Bills are a much better defense than the Ravens are. Probably a little bit better than us because we did hold them to a little under 20 if you take away 2 plays. But again, I just think I trust Josh Allen way more than Tua. I trust Sean McDermott way more than Mike McDaniel. I'm going the Bills 42-20 over Miami. Vikings and Lions. Kirk Cousins is not on primetime. All right? 1 o'clock game. The Lions, I can't believe in them yet. I just can't. I think they got a nice way to build off a win. I'm going the Vikings 30. I'm going the Lions 23. Patriots Ravens. I would take the under if you guys are a betting man. I'm serious. I think this is a low-scoring game. I think that Lamar Jackson, they're going to try to run the ball with him more. If I'm New England, I'm doubling Mark Andrews. I'm serious. Do what the Jets did. Double Mark Andrews and let Duvernay or let the names. I just said it earlier too. Devin Duvernay, let him beat you. Let Rashad Bateman beat you. Okay? Let those guys beat you. Do not let Mark Andrews beat you. Okay? But I'm going to take my Patriots. It's our home opener. I think that we had a nice way to build. I'm still suspect of the Ravens defense. I don't know if they're really what everybody's making them out to be. I think they're good. I don't know if they're the head and shoulders of the elites in the AFC. I don't think they are. All right? I'm going New England 23, Baltimore 16. Bengals and the Jets. Bengals, you have your backs against the wall. The Jets got to win. Jets think everything's sweet. But guess what? Cincinnati's not letting that happen again last year when they lost to the Jets and Mike White. No way. All right? Joe Burrow, I think the pass protection gets settled. I think Joe Burrow comes out. They win 30-13 over the Jets. Eagles and Washington Commanders. Again, these NFC East games are weird. We got a Monday night one I'll mention later. But Jalen Hurts against Carson Wentz. Now, I think Carson Wentz is going to have an edge against his former team. I seen Eagles 6.5 on the road. So Washington's getting 6.5. Closer game than the experts will say it is. I'm taking the Eagles 28-24. Washington's been competitive, but at the end of the day, I trust Jalen Hurts over Carson Wentz. So I'm taking the Eagles 28-24 over the Commanders. Saints and Panthers. You want me to trust Baker Mayfield in that sluggish offense? It's a big game for Matt Rule if he wants to save his job. All right? I think the Saints, they know what their identity is. They've got defense. Jameis Winston just has to not turn the ball over, which I don't think he will versus the Panthers. I think the Panthers are a slightly downgraded defense than the BUCS are. I'm going to go with the Saints 24-13 over the Panthers. Chargers and Jaguars. This is all contingent if Justin Herbert plays. If Justin Herbert does not play, this completely changes. But I'm going to go with the assumption that he's playing. I'm going 27-17 over the Jaguars. LA Chargers win. All right. Rams and the Cardinals. Arizona, big game on the road win. Rams look sluggish. This is the perfect get-back spot for the Rams. I'm going 28-20 Rams over the Cardinals. Falcons and Seahawks. All right. Now, this is a coin flip game to me. All right. Mariota, the Falcons have been much more competitive in my opinion. I think that Atlanta just has some bad luck that they've been going through. It stops this Sunday. They beat Seattle. And can we please have some Kyle Pitts involvement? Single-digit points in 2 weeks in a row in fantasy. Come on, man. Get him involved more. All right, I know Drake London's good, but can you give Kyle Pitts something? I mean, pretty please. Damn. Falcons 30-16 over Seattle. Bucks and the Packers. All right, Mike Evans is out, but the Bucks just signed Cole Beasley, and they're planning to get him on the active roster for Sunday. Another one, I got to see if Godwin plays. But I think Tampa's defense, Todd Bowles has been Rodgers' kryptonite. He found something in 2020 that gave him trouble. All right. And I don't know. Green Bay doesn't strike me as that team where I go, yeah, they look like they're the best team in the NFC. Not what they've been the last couple of years. Tampa, I know Brady doesn't look right, but Joe Barry, zone defense, this is the week. Tom gets it right. They'll be fine. Whether it's Cam Brate, whether it's Scotty Miller, Julio, if he's back, Tampa will be fine. If they can run the ball with Fournette better than what they did last week, they'll be fine. I'm going Tampa, despite Evans being out. 24-23 over the Packers in a good game. Niners and Broncos. I'm going again with the under on this. All right, I'm serious. All right, if I'm a betting person, I'm liking the under a lot. I don't think the Niners score much. Denver's defense is good, so are the Niners. But I'll take the Niners 20-13 over the Broncos. I just trust the Niners more than the Broncos. Kyle Shanahan's a better play caller and a head coach than Nathaniel Hackett is. I mean, seriously, I don't know what more to add on that. I'll take the Niners 20-13 over Denver. Monday night, Cowboys-Giants. I'm torn here. I'm not going to lie to you. I want to take Dallas so bad. I don't know if Cooper Rush can do it. I really don't know. And I don't know if Dallas is the team I could buy into yet after one game. I don't know. I know the Giants, I said all along they've played fluky fraud teams. I don't know, man. Damn. No, I can't pick Dallas. I was originally going to. I can't. I just, no. I can't. I'm going with the Giants 20-16 over the Cowboys. I can't. I don't know. I can't. There's no way. The only way Dallas wins is if Daniel Jones turns back into the turnover machine that he is. They stop Saquon Barkley, and these receivers are not what the Giants seem to make them out to be. And that's their only hope. And if they get pressure on Jones, all right? And their offense can produce off that with the running game, and receivers need to step up, and their line plays a clean game, and they don't commit 10-plus penalties. That's the only way. I'm going with the Giants, so 20-16 over the Cowboys. All right, guys, so those are the Week 3 picks. Hope you guys enjoyed listening to this episode of Lounge Time this week. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell and hit that subscribe button so that way you guys can get all the latest updates on when we produce an episode, so that way you guys can stay up to date during the NFL season. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Lounge Time this week. Hope you guys enjoyed everything, and I will see you guys next week on the next episode of Lounge Time. Have a good weekend, everyone.